Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'll discuss about sales process, sales and receivable in Business Central. Uh, Let me start with my introduction. My name is Dhanraj Bansal, and I'm based in Gurgaon, India. And the email ID and other details are provided in this slide. So in the previous video, we discussed about the purchase process in Business Central, and today we are going to discuss sales process, sell items. Agenda for this video is listed here. We will talk about create sales quote and then work with sales order. A sales order can be created from sales quote and blanket sales order. We will analyze item availability, ship items, invoice items, process drop shipment. There is a concept called drop shipment in which we link a sales order with a purchase order and ask our vendor to ship the goods directly to our customer. Details we will discuss. Then we will talk about configuring a recurring sales line for repetitive nature of items. Then we will talk about how the posted sales invoice can be corrected if there are any errors or issues. And finally, we will discuss about manage sales returns and then Q&A question and answer some of the questions related to the process which we are going to discuss in this video. So, as I mentioned, this video is related to MB-800 exam, which is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central Functional Consultant. And in that skill sets, if I refer to the PDF which has the skill sets for MB-800 exam, this this is the document having those skill sets. And in this one, we have a portion called perform business central operations, various operations in business central. So purchase process was discussed in the last video yesterday, and now today we will focus on sell items. And as I mentioned in the agenda items, we will so this covers create quotation, convert a quotation into order or invoice. So from sales quotation we can convert either to an order or an invoice. Then we will analyze item availability, ship item associated with sales order, undo shipments, create an invoice from sales order, create sales return, configure recurring sales line, use the navigate actions to view a posted sales transaction. Okay, so that's the agenda for this video. So let's start with sales quote. I have logged into Business Central, which is online version SaaS software as a service trial version currently, in which Kronos company is configured. Kronos database is there, Kronos environment is there. So just to start with customer, so we have a list of customers. We can create new customer. Uh, we can create new customer using templates. There are templates already defined, or we can define the templates. So business to business customer or cash, we will create one for each of these. So there's a field called payment terms. Payment terms are defined like it can be cash on delivery, or maybe 7 days payment or 60 days payment. And there could be a possibility that it is current month, which means the last day of the current month, the month on which document date is defined. Okay. Shipping, a customer can have multiple ship to code addresses, so if those are defined, we can link to that. Location code is our warehouse location. So we can link customer to one of the warehouse location. Okay, let's talk about sales and receivable setup also. In sales and receivable setup in general tab, we have discount posting. So there are invoice discounts and line discounts. We will talk about that while creating the sales order or invoices. So it can be configured like all discounts are allowed, no discount, invoice discount, or line discount. Currently, we have selected all discounts. Credit warning, whether warning should be shown or not, and those warning can be based upon credit limit. The customer credit limit is exceeded, or it can be overdue balance, or no warning if you don't want to show any warnings. But right now we have selected both warnings option. Stock out warning should be shown or not. Notifications, shipment on invoice should be created or not. Return receipt on credit memo, when you post a credit memo, return receipt should be generated or not. Invoice rounding, whether we will be rounding the invoice. For example, we can round to nearest integer value. So application between currencies. Logo positioning is defined for the reports. No logo left on the left side, center, or right. These are the options. Default posting date, whether it will be based upon work date or blank. So these are the setups. Exact cost reversing, when you do reversal, maybe credit memos or return orders. So whether exact cost reversing is required or not. Then we can define the number series for customer numbers, and number series for various documents. For example, for quotation quotes, we can attach number series. So that's on the setup part. Now moving on, we will talk about sales quote. Sales quote is a for example, if your customer has requested for a request has sent for request for quotation RFQ, and has asked for prices, and they you provide the quotation. Then there might be negotiations. Once you submit a quotation, there can be further negotiation. You change the price and all that. So let's create a new quote for customer tray research. We select the customer number. uh, Customer address and all are populated automatically based upon the selection of the customer number. Order date by default is taken from work date. If required, we can change that. Now there is a field due date. Due date is calculated based upon your document date and the payment terms. Let's see what is the payment terms for this customer, and that we can see in the order also. It can be changed at the order or quotation level also. In the setup, in the item, in the customer card, it can be different, but if we change, we can do that also. For example, if I select CM, current month, or current month plus 7 days, which means end of current month plus 7 days, seventh day of the coming month. So if we select CM plus 7D and check the due date, so what we see is document date is 12th April and the due date is next month 7th day. So due date is calculated based upon document date. It is not the related to order date or posting date. Your reference can be the some if the customer has sent you a request for quotation, so some document, some email, or some reference number for that. Salesperson code is our internal salesperson who is taking care, who is interacting with this customer. Quotations can be created from campaigns or opportunities, so those fields can be defined if applicable. Now let's say customer has requested quotation for these two items, Athens desk and let's say Paris chair. And I'm leaving location code blank for now. let's say 10 quantities of Athens desk, and similarly 10 quantity of the second item also. The price that which we are quoting for this item is, let's say, 900 and 500. Maybe we can give discount also. 900 is the price, but let's say I'm giving 10% discount on this item and then 20% on this item. So 900 will become 810 and 500 become 400. So the line amount excluding tax is 8100 in the first line and 4000 for the second line. We can see the total or statistics. So total excluding tax is 12,100. Tax amount is 605. I think 5% tax, and then total including tax is 12,705. Currency code is applicable. We will fill in the currency code only in case there is this is forex transaction in foreign currency. Shipment date, payment terms we have discussed already, and we can define the shipping and billing details also. So ship to code, alternate shipping address, customer address, that can be done. Now this document can be released, sent for internal approval. Then we can take a print of this or send by email, attach as PDF, or take a print out of this. So we can see here two items, 10 quantity of each, and this is the rate. Kronos our company detail, then customer's detail, quotation number, ship to address. We can also define quote valid too. Let's say if we say that okay, this quote is valid for this month only, and if you buy in the next month or if you don't place order in this month, then the prices might change. So in that case we can define the validity date, up to which date quote is valid. So that can be defined. Now once you have sent the quotation to your customer might do negotiation, and you can offer some different price also. That possibility is there. You can do revise this n number of times. There is no limit as such. Now this is the notification. It is saying this customer has an overdue balance, because in sales and receivable setup we set all warnings. So uh, overdue balance it is showing. So there are overdue balance and credit limit related. So if we click here, we can see the details. Balance is this much, outstanding amount is this much, all that. This portion is known as fact box. On the top it shows sell to customer sales history of this customer, and below details of the line, item number, the line which we have selected, details of that. This, if you move to first, then the item number is changing. Here it shows the item availability with us is 11, and the order is of 10 quantity. At the quote level, it doesn't really give us warnings or the item availability calculations. Quotation is not considered in item availability calculations, but order onwards these are considered. So available inventory is 4, scheduled receipt is 7, item availability is 11. Item information related to item, unit of measure is pieces, quantity per unit of measure is 1. So this is the fact box part. Now going ahead, we can from this quotation we can either make order or directly make an invoice from this. For example, if you are doing warehouse related activities, receiving into warehouse, bins and serial number and all those processes are involved, then it should be definitely an order, not an invoice. Okay, so let's say we want to go ahead one step ahead and make a order. So it is asking for confirmation Do you want to convert the code to an order? Yes, the code has been converted to this order, order 101006. In case we want to say we want to open this order, then we can say yes, otherwise no. So this is the code which you created. Okay, now moving on. Next is let's discuss about blanket sales order. Blanket sales order are, you can consider these as the long-term commitment with your customer. Long-term commitment with your customer. For example, if the customer has placed an order for 1,000 quantity of an item, and they said that every quarterly you supply us 250 quantity of this item. So for 4 quarters, you supply 250 quantity of that item. So uh, in these cases, when you have to do shipment after a repeated interval or after some time, so there we use blanket sales orders. Let's create a new blanket sales order. Quantity 1,000. 2,000. Now by default quantity to ship will also get populated from there, but now let's say when we are creating making an order from blanket sales order, and at that point in time we want to we have to supply only 250 of this one, and let's say 400 quantity of this, then we can update the quantity to ship 250 and 400, and convert this blanket sales order to sales order. A point to be noted that in the sales order which is converted from blanket sales order, we cannot modify the quantity more than the what is there in the blanket sales order. For example, in this case, the quantity in blanket sales order is 1,000 and 2,000. Later on, if we make a order from that, and if you want to modify the quantity in the order converted from blanket sales order, we cannot exceed the quantity which is there in the blanket sales order. So from here we can make order. Earlier it was order number 101006, and now it is 101007. There are there are few there are few notifications in this. There are two notifications. In fact, notification 2 which is showing at the header level. So what are those notifications? Let's have a look in the blanket sales order. So notification first is available inventory for item 1900 S is lower than the entered quantity, and the second is both are similar in nature. These are related to inventory availability. We go and check the details. Inventory shortage is minus 410. current requirement is 10. Earlier there is another gross requirement of 10, so 410. We are short of 410 quantity of this. Okay, after that let's go to the newly created sales orders. Ending number were 06 and 07, so these are the two orders which are created. One is for tray research, another is for the customer number 10,000, quantity 10 and all. The second one is which is converted from blanket sales order. Sales order, not sales order, other customer. At the customer card we can note the balance of the customer. At the initial, for let's open a note, open an Excel sheet. For customer 10,000 balance age, how much is the balance? 7810. For customer 20,000, this is credit limit. Balance is here 3036.60 for 10,000, 0. Okay, now sales quote. So flow process of sales processing. Enter a sales quote. We have seen how to enter a sales quote. Enter a blanket order. That also we have seen. From both of these we can convert to an order. So now we will see how orders are processed. From order, when posting we get two options. We will see that these are ship, invoice, ship and invoice. So when you do shipment, which means you are you are sending the goods to your customer. So in that case you will create a document which is called posted sales shipment, and when this document is created it will create the item ledger entries. Your stock or your inventory will be updated. Next step will be post the invoice. We will see that. And when invoicing is done, your customer ledger entry will be created, customer balance will be updated, and chart of account will also be updated. Next, you record payment, customer payment or customer receipt, and that will also again update customer card and chart of accounts. While we were working with sales quote, we also noted that there were two options: make order and make invoice. So we can create an invoice from quotation also, and we can make order from, one is purchase quote, second is blanket purchase order. Okay, work with sales order. Basically, sales order is a commitment from and to the customer, from both parties, customer and your company, Kronos, both have certain commitment, which is mentioned in the sales order. Create directly, or you can convert from other documents. We will see that this can be created from. We have seen that it can be created from sales quote and blanket sales order. Affects item availability, your planning, your projections, and item availability is affected by this. Then we can process shipments and invoices. So let's go to the sales order. Here is a newly created sales order which was converted from quote. The second one was converted from blanket sales order. Now quantity is 10. The second also quantity is 10. uh, Here is the fact box which says this is for customer number 20,000, and from this customer outgoing ongoing sales quotes to ongoing sales blanket orders. These details are shown. Then customer details like name of the customer, email, communication detail, credit limit, available credit, payment terms, 14 days, sales line details. So these are the details of the items, the lines. Required quantity is 10, item availability is minus 400, unit of measure is pieces, and next is item details. What is the costing method of this item? Cost is adjusted, yes or not, unit cost, all that information. Now we can release this order. The status will change from open to released. If required, we can reopen it. At the time of posting, we can take a printout of this, uh, print confirmation, order confirmation, and send it to our customer. So it gives the details of items, quantity, unit price, line amount. Okay, text detail is also there. Now at the time of posting, we get three options. First is ship, invoice, ship and invoice. If we are just shipping the good and not sending the invoice now, so we can do shipping. Once you do shipping, your let's see what happens. Let's see the impact on the lines. Quantity shipped is 10. We have shipped 10 quantity of each. Quantity invoiced is 0. We have not invoiced yet. Quantity to invoice is 0. Okay. Now uh, this was done from quote. Okay. In case we will next move to our second order, which was made from blanket sales order. So I made a point that we can order in the sales order, we cannot order more than what is there in the blanket sales order, and we can see whether this is associated with the sales blanket sales order or not, though there are fields for that. So just a second, let me see if those fields are not displayed, then maybe we will have to do personalization. um, Settings, personalize, keep the cursor here, field. So blanket order number and blanket order line number we can display. So once these are, I think this is not yet added. Okay, these are added now. We can say done. And once we see that, we can see the blanket order detail. This was the blanket order from which it was converted, and blanket order line number. Now I said that you cannot order in the sales order the quantity more than which is there in the blanket sales order. Let's try to check and verify. The quantity order for first item was, I think, if I remember correctly, 1000. So if I want to make a order of 1100 quantity in this one, will the system allow? uh, okay, so that's inventory related, available inventory. Let me go back and check in the blanket sales order. For the first one, 1000 quantity, second one is 2000. And now what I'm doing is I'm entering 1100 and 400. Let's keep this as it is, 400. And we can see the statistics, pricing total and all details here. uh, Due date is shown here. Okay, due date is 12/05. What is the basis of that? Payment terms is 1 month and 1 month 8 day. 1 month 8 day is basically due date calculation is 1 month. Due to that, it is 12th of next month. When I post, there are three options: ship, invoice, ship, and invoice. I'll select the option ship. Okay, here's the error which I was talking about. Quantity shipped in associated blanket order must not be greater than quantity in sales line document type blanket order. It is saying it cannot be more than what is there in the blanket order. Now what we will have to do is change it to maximum 1000 or the 250 which was originally there in the order, which was original. Yeah, post it, ship. So now we have done shipping, and a document which is called posted sales shipment is generated in this process. Now let's see how much is quantity shipped. Quantity shipped is 250 and 400. Quantity to invoice is 250 and 400. Nothing has been invoiced so far. Quantity invoiced is 0. If we go back to the blanket purchase order from where it was created, so there also we will see that quantity shipped is updated. uh, Related. Okay, okay, what we can do is perhaps manage 1 minute in the line function related information blanket order. So this is the blanket order. Quantity to ship is 750. Quantity already shipped is 250 and 400. Okay, so blanket order is also updated. Now we have done shipping of two sales orders. Shipments. we can navigate to shipment of this order. So this is the shipment created. From the posted sales shipment, we can find entries. So it will show that it has created two item ledger entries. Item ledger entry for item 1900s and 1896s. Quantity is minus negatives because it is sales and outgoing sales. So quantity is negative. In the case of purchase, it will be positive. So our stock is down now, reduced by 400 and 250. Now, in case there is a region that this shipping was done by mistake or so, what we can do is we can do undo shipment. uh, Undo shipment will reverse the impact of what we did in the shipping of this. So this can be done line by line. For example, if we just want to do it for first item Athens desk, then we can do this way. It is asking for confirmation. Once it is confirmed, we will notice that another line is also created. A new line is inserted here with minus 250. Now impact of it will be quantity shipped in the sales order and quantity shipped in the blanket sales order. Both will get updated and for this item will become 0. Let's check that impact. Or order tracking. This next one, I think. Quantity to ship is 250. Quantity shipped is 0. Earlier it was 250 when we shipped the item, but we have done undo. That's why quantity shipped is 0. Similarly, if we go to blanket order, in that also quantity shipped is 0 for first item, whereas for second it is 400. I think we have talked about this one. Undo shipment also we saw undo shipment. Invoice item. Next is invoicing of item. Let's go back to our sales orders. For this order, so far we have shipped only. So we will see that quantity shipped, it will show that 10 and quantity invoiced is 0, not yet invoiced. So what we can do is, and undo shipment can be done only before invoicing is done. If the invoicing has already been done, then we cannot undo the shipment. We will see that case now. So let's say we want to invoice now. So by invoicing, we are creating a document which is called posted sales invoice. This is a posted sales invoice. We can find entries, the entries created by this. So it has created GL entries, 12 GL entries are created. It has also created 3 text entries. Customer ledger entry. Customer balance will be impacted by this. So it has created a invoice and customer balance of original amount 12705, this much amount. Then there are detailed customer ledger entry, value entry. These entries are created. Navigate to customer. So this is a customer card. Let's check how much was the balance earlier. For customer 20,000 tray research, earlier balance was 3036.60, whereas now it is 15,000. If we click on this, we can see the open customer ledger entries. So this is the open customer ledger entry which is created by posting of our sales order, and it is created by invoice number, this one. So 12,705 plus 3,036. So that's how the balance is there. So customer balance is updated. Let's go back to our posted sales shipment, the last created posted sales shipment. Okay, this is the one for which undo of 250 was done. Let's see, do we get option undo? So when we try to undo shipment now, we get an error that this shipment has already been invoiced. That's what I mentioned earlier. Undo shipment can be done as long as, means before, until the invoicing is not done. If the invoicing is done, you cannot undo the shipment. Now let's talk about the scenario that you have done posted sales invoice. You have posted the sales invoice, but there were some errors, there are some clerical issues or some mistakes in that. Can we correct the posted sales invoice? So here's the posted sales invoice, and for quantity 10 10 and at these rates. Maybe the price was entered wrong, or maybe the quantity was entered wrong, due to whatever reason. If you want to correct it, so when once we click on posted sales invoice and correct, there we get 3 options: correct, cancel, create corrective credit memo. Let's see what are these. So right now, if you see, cancelled is no, it has not been cancelled. Closed is also no, it has not been closed. And this was created from order number, reference number, order number ORD 006, and quote number. Okay, due date is 7th May. If we cancel it, the posted sales invoice will be cancelled and a sales credit memo will be created and posted. So what it will do is, cancelled will be true. It will create a credit memo and post that credit memo. So that impact of this posting of sales invoice will be nullified, will reverse the posted sales invoice. Do you want to continue? So what uh, uh, it is doing is, it will cancel the invoice, it will create a credit memo and post it. So let's say we say no. Okay, so see what are the options. Correct, we just show that it will cancel the invoice, create a credit memo and post that credit memo. Okay, let's do that. And this can be done until the payment is made. If this invoice has already been paid, then we cannot correct it. So now it is corrected. Let's go back to our posted sales invoice. So now cancelled is showing yes. We were saying that a credit memo will also be created and posted. So there should be a posted sales credit memo also. And if you want to see the entries created by this document, we can check those. So there is customer ledger entry one. Okay, let's check the credit memo created by the correct process. Posted sales credit memo. So this is the one. Now it has the references invoice number this and shipment number. Okay, and if you want to find entries, it is showing 10 GL entries, customer ledger entry, detailed customer ledger entry, item ledger entry, and all that. Minus 12,705. Let's check the balance of this customer now. Customer is Trade Research. The balance is 3036.60, the one which we noted earlier. So invoicing which we did, we have done correction, we have done reversal of that. Now let's go back to our sales order. That sales order is, I think, deleted. Yeah, posted sales invoice. Let's take some more posted sales invoice and see what are the uh, when when we click on correct, we saw a correct option. Let's see what is the impact of this cancel. Create and post a sales credit memo that reverses this posted sales invoice. This posted sales invoice will be cancelled. So in this case, it will create and post a sales credit memo that reverses this posted sales invoice. This posted sales invoice will be cancelled. Credit memo was successfully created. Do you want to open posted credit memo? Yes. So this is the posted sales credit memo. Let's see, it takes another. And here is create corrective credit memo. Create a credit memo for this posted invoice that you complete and post manually to reverse the posted invoice. In the earlier case, we saw that it is posting also. It is posting the credit memo. But now in this case, this will create the credit memo, and then you can change it, you can update it, and then post it. It is not posting it. So the previous step which we saw was posting the credit memo also. Now it is just creating the credit memo. Now we saw that we can create posted sales invoices from the sales order. There are other ways also. Let's talk about sales invoice. Using sales invoice, you can do invoicing of more than one shipment, posted sales shipment. So let's say we create a invoice for a tray research. Now in the lines, we can go to lines, function, get shipment lines. It will show all open shipment lines. I think for this tray research, there's no such open posted sales shipment. Let's try for other customers. For this one, there is one posted sales line uh, with item. Okay, we can select that. Now here it is having the shipment number, reference shipment number, for which only the shipping is done, invoicing is not done. So we can select more than one. If had there been more, we could select those, and then we can post it. Do you want to open the post it? Yes. That way we can check. So comment, it is saying it is invoicing of shipment number SHPT. Find entries, we can check its impact. Back to presentation. Convert to an order, post the shipment. We have discussed that it will create posted shipment, posted sales shipment, update item. Then next part is post the invoice, which we just saw. Posted invoice will be created, chart of account is updated, customer card, customer balance is updated. Next part is record customer payment. Okay, I would like to discuss one more scenario which is related to cash transaction. In case now there is balance of this customer, balance is getting updated. Now in case you want to if you are dealing with a cash customer, and you don't want to process the payment separately. So the moment your invoicing is done, at the same time, if you want that payment is also done in the same step, so there is a setup for that. What is setup? Rather, it is not. Let's do it this way. Okay, before that, let's change the payment method in the customer card. We will check. We will take another customer school of the fine arts, and in that payment method should be there. Can this be done? No. Payment method. Okay, so payment method. Let's say we are selecting cash, and आ रहा हूँ। इसको वो करने का है। Um okay, I'm stopping this video here. Maybe I'll create another video for this one. uh, Thank you.